Hello, my dear Manchu learners. Welcome back to the Manchu grammar course, and this is Hasutai. From today's lesson, we're going to be learning about the tense and the aspect in Manchu. And don't worry about the term aspect. Just consider it another name of tense. If you are not linguist, it's enough, I think. Okay, then in Manchu, to form a sentence with tense and aspect is quite straightforward. We usually, mostly we just conjugate the verb by sometime adding some auxiliaries, but we never change the word order, so be relaxed. For example, we have some verbs from the dictionary, and feel free to find your own examples in your own dictionary. And if you don't have one, I will recommend someone in the comments and go to have a look. So here the examples are tam, to look, yavam, to walk, maxim, to dance, bodon, to calculate, and etc. So here we can see all of these verbs end with a combination of mb, right? In fact, the mb, which pronounces in the spoken language as because we tend to drop the entire syllable of the final B in this suffix. So this is a suffix for exactly the tense we will learn today. And by cutting it down, we got the root of the verb, such like ta, yav, maxi, bodo, and etc. So to conjugate them for other tense or aspect, we just append the corresponding suffixes one by one on the root. And note there is only suffix but no prefix in Manchu. So I think that will be easier for you to memorize. Okay, then time to lift the veil of the suffix mb. Mb in Manchu represent the hard to say tense. Well, it is because I don't know how to name it. In fact, this suffix mb bears a couple of different usage, different function of different tense and aspects. So it's impossible to identify it by just a single category. So let's just forget the name and delve into the functions. There are mainly three functions on it. Number one, to express any regular behavior, regardless of the time. In other words, it could be anything in the past or present or the future, as long as it's a regular behavior or habitual event or habitual behavior. For example, children enter primary school at the age of 6. So here we can see this is obviously not some individual event, but more likely a rule for every child. So we could use be on it. Next, my son drank a kilogram of milk every day last year. And this is finally a habit of my son, right? So it takes the be aspect. Okay, the third one. The ancestors of Manchu practiced shamanism in the past. So again, this is not an individual event, but some kind of custom. Something happened to all the people. So for summary, This kind of nb could be used for describing a custom or habit or law or rule or phenomenon or something like that. Okay, then the second function of it is to describe any situation in the future, whether it's regular or occasional. For example, 치마르다 비 고자담 난그는 I'm going to Georgia tomorrow morning. So even though it's exactly an individual event, but it will happen in the future. So we could use be. Alright, then the third function is for a hypothetical situation, such like the umbrella will open automatically when it rains. So it's the opening of the umbrella is not about any particular time, say in the past or present or the future, but some particular condition, right? When it rains, it open. So in such cases, we also use be on the main verb, lim, the open, in this case. Alright, then next let's talk about the negative. To make up the negative form of the how to say things, we again need to conjugate the verb itself by replacing the suffix mbi with another suffix rak or ruk in Sibe orthograph. But the pronunciation is a little bit tricky. So generally, we tend to drop the sound r or even the entire syllable ra. So it will sound like just a single syllable. Let's look at some examples. I don't smoke. And here we can see the expressing of smoking in Manchu is very interesting. We use the verb for to drag or to draw to depict the scene that just like you are drawing the smoke from the cigarette to you. Then the verb should be transformed into 过치르고 to express the negative sense, not to draw or not to smoke as a whole phrase. Okay, next. must 치마르 아침. must 치마라 아치고 초 아침. We don't meet tomorrow, but one day later, or literally, we meet at the day after tomorrow. And notice here the pronoun must, which is the first plural person, which means we. It's sort of different from the one we've learned before, namely 播. The difference is by saying must, we include the listener, and 播 on the other hand. Okay, then there are some irregular verbs in terms of negative, which means when making up the negative form, you have to do some extra work other than just appending a suffix 르고. So some of them are 짐, then 지드라고, or 지드라고, 좀, 지드라고. But well, in nowadays Sibe spoken, we tend to use the shorter form, which looks like very similar to other regular verbs, namely 지고 and 쩌고. Okay, then let's look at some exercises. So by giving these vocabularies and phrases, I want you to translate these two sentences by yourself. Number 1, students learn history at school. Number 2, in fact, mouses don't eat cheese. Well, that is a fact. I think we've been sort of deceived by some like cartoon, even though I love that cartoon. Okay, then the answer is 다치시스 다치콧 수드립 다짐. And then 예르게노치 싱그르 코르브 쯔코 or 코르브 쯔트르코. Alright, then some key points of today's lesson. So we have learned 3 main functions of the suffix mb. Number 1, to express any regular behavior, habit, custom, law, phenomenon, and etc., whether it is in the past, present, or the future. Number 2, to express anything in the future. And number 3, for something in the hypothetical situation. Then the morphological of this hard-to-say tense is the root with the suffix mb or in spoken. And then the negative form is rak or ruk or just in spoken. And we've learned 2 irregular verbs in terms of negative, jim, jideruk, and jim, jideruk. Okay, then here is all. If you have any question about today's lesson, just leave a message in the comment and see you next time. Jai Madan Achki, Granafida and Bubaniha.